Well, welcome. We are here with Elizabeth from TCIA. And Elizabeth, how you doing?
I'm doing really well. It's finally like sunny out. All the clouds have cleared. There's no more snow on the ground. We're up in New Hampshire, so it's
Yeah,
like the first real warm day we've had.
yeah.
Oh, it's gorgeous. Couldn't be
We hit
happier.
82 degrees today. So in
Okay,
Southern Illinois. So
brag about it. Yeah.
it's nice. The pollen's just really wreaking havoc on all the allergies and
Oh yeah.
stuff.
We've got like 62 degrees, and all of us are in like t-shirts. There's people out there in shorts. We're like, it's 60 degrees. That means it's like
In New
free the
Hampshire,
legs.
that's
Do what you
yeah,
gotta do.
there you go.
It's gorgeous. No, no, it's so nice. I can't even. I wore like shorts exercising outside instead of like two pairs of fleece lined leggings yesterday. So I was like, oh, take the wins I can get.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
So Elizabeth, tell us a little bit about what TCIA stands for and tell us a little bit about TCIA as a whole.
So TCIA is the Tree Care Industry Association. We're a trade association, nonprofit body, really focused on supporting businesses, and that's through different avenues like education, training, advocacy, and legislature, et cetera, helping small, medium, large companies, international companies. And we also support different like manufacturers, service providers, and distributors, all catering to the tree care industry. So really trying to bridge the gap between the two communities, between that corporate side, that people side, and then all around supporting our tree care people.
Tree care people, I love it. And you guys have got a great website. I've got it pushed up here right now. It's tcia.org,
Mhm.
Tree Care Industry Association. And man, that's a great website. Networking, training, best practices, just revolved around the tree care industry. So pretty
Yeah,
cool. How long has TCIA been around?
like 85 years. Last year,
Really?
TCI Expo. Yeah, so we actually started in St. Louis under a different name. There's a long history of
Yeah.
TCIA, and I'm not the best individual in the world to be well versed in it, but I do know dang well. So we were started about 85, 86 years ago now, and it's really just it's focused on the foundational support of the people in the industry, right? Our goal is a body that can advocate on behalf. We all know the hazards that are within the tree care industry, right?
Yeah.
And when there's no specific OSHA standard and there's no specific legislature supporting us, and a tree care company is very unique. It's not like every other contracting business. Each contracting style of business has different, uh, I would say, finicky things that make them so wonderful.
Yeah.
And so to have some supportive infrastructure and to have some supportive teams that are really specialized at helping you through this process and also like getting you really good education, that's really what our goal is.
Yeah. So you guys have memberships
Mhm.
available. So tell us a little bit about the memberships that you have for TCIA.
Yeah, so we do like company membership. So that could be like a tree care company that wants to come in and wants to, learn more, or they get things like discounted registration to our super cool events, or they just get access to like our educational assets. We also have like a boatload of free materials.
Hmm.
There's like a job site assessment that's on our website that's really awesome, coming from somebody who's been in the field before in arboriculture. Going from like writing with an expo marker on the side of your truck window to do a job site assessment and how far a hospital is and like how close you are to like the nearest firehouse, all that jazz. Having some of those free tools at your fingertips are really powerful. So we
Yeah.
offer like memberships for tree care companies that includes like some of the things that we do, like mentorship, peer to peer. We've
Mm,
got connection groups, just really aiming to elevate the standard of industry best practices for businesses. And then
that's
we've
great.
also got our corporate side, which is what I am so epically a part of, which is things like TCI Expo or
Hmm.
corporate membership, where we offer like complimentary product reviews, where we work with TCI Magazine, where we're supporting those companies that are really creating the products for the tree care industry to succeed.
Very cool. So you have tree care business membership, which is for tree care industry companies who are out there
Mhm,
serving people, and then you've got the corporate side with corporate memberships. So companies like my office help. We can
mhm.
join up and be part of the expos and be part of the educating and
Yeah,
being able
training
to reach out
companies.
and serve. Yeah.
It's we have like a very diverse background. Like I could find you like 15 insurance companies, marketing companies, obviously companies like my office help, and then I've got like huge equipment manufacturers, and I've got gear manufacturers, and then I've got distributors, like wholesalers. Um, but it's very cool because you don't often get to see the full perspective of like what builds up the pie of an industry,
Yeah.
right? Like who is really contributing and where is that all funneling towards? And then when people come up and they're like, well, I want to be a corporate member, it's like, thank you for taking that next step.
Hmm.
And contributing back. I like to look at membership from a perspective of the obligation of the professional is to show up, do a really good job if they can within their skill range, and then successfully go home safely. Like, right,
Yeah.
we want them to be really safe on the job site, but anything beyond that bare minimum is a privilege and it should be a thank you. So when people come in and participate with TCIA, like I am overwhelmed with a sense of gratitude in the thought that like they don't have to be a member. They're choosing to advance their business, they're choosing to advance their people, they're choosing to advance their acumen, get involved, get more education. Like all of that is a privilege.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
It is.
You guys have a great magazine too, the TCI magazine. So
Yes.
now, is this just specifically all online, all digital,
Mm-mm.
or do you guys still do some of the old school print stuff?
We still send out over 24,000 print copies every
Oh,
month. Yeah,
wow.
it's
That's pretty
free.
cool.
It's 100% free, right? So I get the beauty of managing our advertisements for TCI Magazine as well as part of my role.
Yeah.
And our advertisers, my favorite, favorite thing in the entire world, which I was a corporate member before I came to work for TCIA. I
Hmm.
had no clue. The only reason we have remained like a long-standing free publication where anybody can go online and subscribe and get a free print copy to their house every month is because a lot of our advertisers do advertising out of like goodwill because
Yeah.
the advertisers are what pay for the mailing to go to people's houses.
Yeah.
The advertisers are the reason that we can afford to have such incredibly robust education.
And you have really good uh, pieces that are in it, work practices. We talk about some safety awards. You've got news sources. I mean, there's so much. Cribbing a crane for tree work. That's
Mhm.
pretty important. No one
We've
knows.
got everything like the May issue that's coming out. Obviously, so we're recording here in April, but our May issue, climbing is my personal background. It's my sweet spot. It's where like if we talked climbing, I would be 100% comfortable.
Yeah.
Um, but things like that, right? Like when we're talking about safety practices, when we're talking about the best gear to get the job done right, when we're talking about like just any of these little nitpicky facets, that is incredibly, incredibly cool one to learn about.
Yeah.
And two, it's something that's in hand. I find a lot of the time that, like, even when I was working in supply, right? You have a catalog, you keep it in your car, and you're going to cycle through it. Like, just when you're like parked waiting for somebody else to show up at a job site, but having education physically on hand. And then you can go online and
Yeah.
then you can read everything online. You could search old articles. You could see like that education you want at your fingertips. And in
Yeah.
an industry where like the new Z is coming out, safety standards are constantly changing. Unfortunately, we have to read through accident reports all the time. Having an online presence as well as the print presence is really important to us.
Yeah. I don't know. As far as like advocacy, talk a little bit
Mhm.
about TCIA with being an advocate in the tree care industry.
Well, so we obviously participate in the Z133, right? So we've got seats with the Z133, which is our safety standard in arboriculture. We have some new initiatives coming from TCIA. I can't talk necessarily about timeline. I know that we're working further up on advocacy, like on a broader level. But
Yeah.
we've obviously got our DEI initiatives, women in tree care initiatives, and then students, apprenticeship programming. So if you've got like young individuals in the tree care industry that want to enroll in that stuff, we support schools. It's kind of a really, once you open up the clamshell of like what we do, almost like arguably a bloomin' onion. It's probably more tasty.
Yeah.
um, when you open it up, right? Like there's so many avenues for the way that you could support like within the industry, right? We've got ASTI, which is like educational grants and funding, where
Mhm.
people can go online and just apply to get funding for their education stuff and their educational sessions, right? Like there's
So
huge amounts of avenues there. Yeah.
Yeah, so much on the TCIA website. Like every time I look through this website, there's
Find
more and
something
more that
new.
I find, and it's like, holy cow, you guys do this too.
Yeah.
So pretty interesting. So what's your background? You keep hitting on it a little bit about, so where did you come from before TCIA?
I came from a gear distributor, so outdoor power equipment, lawn and garden. And I come originally from an old school plywood manufacturing, timber harvesting, and logging family. So
So
tree
you've been
care
in
is
it for a
kind
long
of,
time.
yeah, since I was growing up. But we used to do really we had a plywood manufacturing plant, and you could
Yeah.
stick your hands in between the sheets of plywood as they were going through the hot glue press and see like how it's so not safe. And anybody that has anything to do with OSHA, of course I didn't do that. But like we were kids. But
Wait,
you know,
hold up your fingers. Hold up your fingers.
I have
You
all
got them all.
10. I have all
All right.
10. I was playing with a saw the other day and I nicked myself pretty bad, but I still have all 10. Um, but no, I came from gear distribution and wholesale. And so coming from being a member of TCIA and kind of getting to participate with those benefits, and then also not understanding what I could have taken advantage of and how I could have connected better with the industry, it's
Yeah.
been really awesome to sort of re-engage and be like, no, I can help you. I could show you all the ways that you can talk to tree care professionals, how you can engage better. And then also for me personally, with my background, what I learned in gear distribution and where I learned that my heart fell is that I really care about the people that are going to and from the job site every day, right? Care
Yeah.
about those owner operators. I care about the grounds people that are all going to and from. And when I worked on the gear side of things, the gear that I recommended or the gear that I helped fit them in or the education I provided, all of that, honestly, it attributed to them getting to and from the job site safely and making sure they get home to their families. So
Yeah.
when a transition time came up where I could, move on to a new role, TCIA was the perfect fit because my top priority are the people. My top priority is the industry and the community. And so getting to now advocate and support like the whole industry is the biggest privilege of them all. I couldn't be more honored.
Yeah. That's pretty awesome. So yeah, pretty neat background.
Yeah,
So
sweet
let's
gig.
talk about the elephant in the room, this little small event that you guys put on. So I'll tell you this. I'm sitting at a campfire at a local church, and my tree guy is there. His name's Brett. And he's like, "Hey, you guys gonna be at TCIA?" And I'm like, "Uh, what's TCIA?" Like, I had no clue, right? And this
Just the
is,
Super Bowl of tree care. It's fine. Just the Super
yeah,
Bowl of tree care.
this is
Yeah.
about a month before TCIA in St. Louis, right? So not horribly long ago. And I'm like, I have no clue. So he told me a little bit about it. So we got online, researched it, got in contact with you all, ended up getting a booth there for our first time. And it was our first experience into the tree care industry. This is
Hmm.
one of those things where this year we really want to focus on serving and helping tree care experts out. We've done it very well in the appliance world, electrical, plumbing, but right now we see this need where the tree care industry needs companies like My Office Help just to help them create a little bit of freedom in their life. And that's what
Hmm.
we're all about. And so, anyway, long story short, we went there, and I was dumbfounded. I'll be honest with you. When I walked in the door, just from that first experience with all your kiosks, I was like, yeah, this is a step up levels type of stuff right here going on. Just impressive the whole way through. And then you walk in, we was at the convention center that's attached to the Edward Jones Dome here in St. Louis. All these cranes and lifts and everything inside the dome that you can play around on. I'm sitting here
Hmm.
thinking, yeah, this is like top level, like next level stuff you guys are putting on. So when
We
I
try our
say it's a
best.
small little thing, yeah, it's a huge event for the tree care industry. And
Yep.
so kudos to you and your entire team that puts this on. And
Thank
so
you.
let's talk about the next one. The next one is going to be, I'm going to put my ticker going on here. It's going to be in Baltimore, Maryland, right?
It is.
So
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about the expo coming up in November.
Oh, there's so many exciting things. I would say I'm very excited because one, we have everything under one roof. Two, we're introducing a new stage, actually two new attractions. One is a revised version of an attraction from last year. We're back with New Jersey Crane for basically a work zone. We're going to build out an interactive work zone there. And then we've got a brand new TCIA stage that has a name that I did not clear with marketing if I can share the name of the stage. So I won't
Oh,
share
come
it.
on. Come
Out of no,
on.
I have worked enough in marketing in my lifetime to know that I cannot betray marketing. Um,
All right, all
but
right.
we kind of have a stage that like the thought is like maybe we'll run a yoga session, maybe we'll do some like physical wellness. And then we're also going to kind of like push some sessions up there that maybe they don't fit a classroom setting, maybe they don't fit. We bring in like live trees, right? So we've got
Yeah.
one massive tree in the middle of the show. Maybe it
Mhm.
doesn't fit on the tree demo, and then maybe it doesn't fit in an area where we have 18 ropes rigged from the ceiling for people to play on. I'm really doing a good job at
Yeah.
explaining TCI Expo, but we've got some brand new attractions, and one of the biggest appeals that have brought people in the last couple years has been things like Expo Climb. And it's really it's an immersive experience, as we call it. So you've got a
Yeah.
massive truss on stage. We've added in a huge limb walk this year. And then you have 18 ropes hanging from the ceiling where people can work one-on-one with trainers and instructors and
Wow.
get legitimate hands-on education, as well as getting CEUs on the trade show floor.
Yeah. I remember seeing this last time for the first time. I remember just watching everybody crawl up and down. I'm sitting there thinking, yeah, like I was an electrician for 25 years.
Mhm.
So working on billboard signs on the highway, crawling in a lot of attics and crawl spaces, but nothing I don't think I've seen that has impressed me more lately than somebody just climbing up a rope. It's
You
like,
know, it's interesting, isn't it? It's a
yeah,
different imagine, if you put on my shoes and while we're looking at we're in the process of confirming our 2026 location, which unfortunately I cannot share, but it's very exciting.
yeah.
Um, you're
Hawaii.
trying to I wish. I can't get 4,000 to 8,000 people out there.
Yeah,
It's
especially
too
all the cranes
expensive.
and stuff. Oof. Yeah,
Oh, I don't wanna imagine that. A marshalling yard like that.
yeah,
Trying to explain to exhibit halls what we do is incredibly difficult. I've instead made a slide deck, basically, a bunch of pictures that I just bring with me, and I'm like, "When I'm talking about hanging 25 ropes from the ceiling, this is what I mean." And they're
yeah,
like, "Oh, now I get it." And I was like,
yeah.
"Yeah. No, there's people, like, physically playing on ropes all day."
I couldn't imagine. And then not just that, but just to see all of the vendors that come, the companies that are bringing new products. It's I saw some things that just impressed the socks off of me. Uh, at the last expo, there was another device that had just rolled out where it was a hoist that hoisted a person up, and this device was maybe 2, 3 foot. I mean,
Mhm.
it's something you could literally some of the coolest stuff that you'll see at this expo, that's for sure. So you definitely
Yeah.
gotta go November 6th through 9th, Baltimore, Maryland. You go to expo.tcia.org to register and find out more information, correct?
Yeah, and we actually, as of today, as of the first week of April, we have registrations live. So people can go and
Wow,
register for like the basically the lowest rate that you'll see from us ever for an all
okay.
access pass. Not to mention, so I think we worked out the floor schedule for like all the CEUs and credits. It's like less than $5 per CEU
Oh, wow.
for like coming to just for a trade show only badge. And that's at the
Yeah,
full, you're not a member of TCIA price. So that's like if you're paying 75 bucks, paying less than $5 per CEU just to be on the trade show floor alone, it is incredibly, incredibly valuable. Like when we're talking
wow.
about the opportunity there, it's awesome.
Training, vendors, new products. There's so much that happens at the TCI Expo, and this year it's in Baltimore. So definitely gotta get to Baltimore.
Got to
So
get to Baltimore.
well, what else would you like to talk about as far as TCI? Is there anything else as we get to start to wrapping up here that you would like to talk about as far as what you guys are, do, be, all that good stuff?
I would say follow us on social media. We post like really awesome educational content, and then occasionally there's like a random photo of me. Like next week, I'll be somewhere else, and we just we zoom all over the world right now.
From all over the world. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we've also got our magazine. We kind of touched on it, but magazine is 100% free.
Yeah.
It is 100% free to utilize, take advantage of, to read, to participate in. Shoot us over articles. If you ever have an article idea, come and hang out with us and you get to like email back and forth with me.
Very cool.
And yeah, just get involved. And honestly, if there's any tree care people listening, it's probably my biggest message is a thank you. like I kind of touched on earlier, anything above the absolute bare minimum of going to and from the job safely, it is a privilege and it is an honor to interact because it means that they're trying to further pursue something in their career. And so kudos to them, thank you to them, and congratulations on like keeping that journey forward.
Yeah, that's a great way to end this. Nice job.
I'm trying to keep it
And if they
wholesome.
want more information or to get a hold, to get the newsletter, you can go to tcia.org. So,
Yep.
Elizabeth, I really appreciate you being on the show, and I look forward to seeing you this November. Thanks for being
See you
here.
at the Super Bowl of Tree Care.
Super Bowl of Tree Care.
Yeah,
All right. Thanks again.
no problem.